What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switched Off, and I'm joined, as always, by PJ. And welcome to the 13th ever, lucky number 13, PJ,
Yeah.
13th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight. Speaking of luck or unlucky things that have happened within the past couple of days or weeks, I guess,
Yeah.
we got another partner showcase, everyone's favorite Nintendo event,
No.
a partner showcase. Everyone loves them, PJ. I love
Oh,
them.
of course.
You love them.
Mm.
I'm thinking of renaming the channel to Partner Showcase Stop and just only covering partner showcases just from now on
Yeah.
because they're just so cool. You get so
Oh,
many
of
cool
course.
things in there. You get
Yes.
WWE. That's the end of the list. Okay. So we're gonna talk about
Bakugan.
the partner
Yep.
showcase. How could I forget? How could
Yeah,
I
how
forget?
dare you forget about the legendary series? How dare you?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm too embarrassed. I can't continue on. So we're gonna talk about that. The newest partner showcase. We're gonna give our quick reactions. Contrary to my previous joke, there's not too much to actually react about. So that'll be pretty brief. But then we're gonna jump on into why personally we think Super Mario 3D World Deluxe will come out in 2021, which is a pretty interesting thing because I mean 3D World, eh,
Yeah,
eh.
that's
That's pretty good.
that's just our solo brand, or that's our
Yeah,
sole, kind of focus of of the brand of the
of the
Swiss Saw
brand,
brand. Yep, of
of
course.
course, 3D World. And
Yeah.
2021, it's just if I could have sworn 3D World was going to come out this year, and who knows, maybe that was the original plan. But as it's looking right now, we just wanted to talk about why we think it'll come out in 2021. Then, what was it like, episode 10 or
I believe
9,
so.
PJ?
Yep, I believe
Yeah,
so. Episode 10.
one of those, episode 10. We did a hot takes segment where I said Super Mario Party is worse than Mario Party 10.
Mm.
And PJ said Pokemon is doomed forever. Ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And so we are going to do a kind of sequel to that segment, but we're doing Hot Takes 2, but with your guys' stuff. So you guys left a ton of hot takes,
Yep,
which is awesome. And feel free to leave more, in the comments or tweet them at us at Nintendo Tonight on Twitter.
of course.
Um, and we could do this again, but for now we have a bunch of hot takes that you guys suggested, or not suggested but left us, and so we're going to kind of rate those, I guess, and then we have hot takes of our own to
Mm-hmm.
slide in there at the very end. And last but not least, as always, I don't think we've ever done a podcast without this before. We have the fan questions from you guys, which
Yep.
are always awesome. So thank everyone for sending in those questions, especially Ethan Mastercrafter. PJ and I were just talking before the podcast that man has
Yeah.
submitted like a million questions so far, and we're only on episode 13. He is the GOAT. He's keeping the fan questions segment alive. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he is absolutely goated. So Ethan, if you're down in the comments, which you pretty much always are, thank you, Ethan. You are goated. You are the legend. But we do want to quickly announce that you can now submit questions on the hashtag NT Questions channel on our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's under the additional channels little category, because previously you could submit them, and I mean you still can submit them, but previously you could submit them through the comments or on Twitter, at PJ underscore switched up, or at switched up, or at Nintendo Tonight. Kind of all those handles we monitor, and you could put them in our switched up Discord. But it was just like there's so many places that sometimes some questions slip through the cracks. So we just figured the hashtag Nintendo Tonight, or hashtag NT Questions, I think it is, in the Discord server, which you can probably find a link to in the description on YouTube, or just go to the YouTube video and click on the description if you're on iTunes or Spotify.
Yep.
That'll be now. We'll check there probably primarily for questions. Obviously we'll still be checking the comments and stuff, but it's just an easier place for PJ and I to kind of corral all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
And with that out of the way, I guess that's kind of our update. But PJ, let's talk about this absolute banger of a showcase. Straight heat, the super hot fire from Nintendo. I mean, you
The
know what I'm
complete
saying.
opposite. The complete opposite. It was like
Unfortunately.
an ice storm. It wasn't super hot
A
fire. It was
blizzard.
like
I think you meant a blizzard. I
no,
think.
like ice storm, blizzard, avalanche, like whatever you want to call it,
Oh,
man. Like it was just like
it's not good.
yeah,
Not
like
good.
we know what partner showcases are now, so it's not like out of left field. But it was just disappointing to see. obviously,
Brings a
because like
tear to my eye.
yep.
Just devastating.
And
Absolutely devastating.
yeah. I mean, after the Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, I was kind of like, okay. I mean, like that was pretty cool, but I'd like to see like the Kingdom Hearts like main series or mainline games on the Switch instead of a
Yeah.
rhythm game. I mean, it was cool to see, but it's like, still. But other than that, I was kind of disappointed, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Although again, like I said, we do know what a partner showcase is now, but we thought it was going to be a direct. We thought the drought was finally going to end. We thought the Nintendo fandom could finally shut their mouth. But no, they could not. No, they could not. They did
No.
not get what they wanted. And now we are only like knowledgeable of Pikmin 3 Deluxe, and that's pretty much it. So there's a lot of questions about what they're going to do here at the end of the year, whether it'll be those remasters or whatever. But overall opinion of the partner showcase, it was disappointing to see, even though we knew about it already. But yeah, I mean, I hope we get a first party direct soon. I tweeted
Oh
out, I
yeah.
was like, woke up, saw a partner showcase, and I was like, the wait for a first party direct continues. So I mean, what did you think of it?
Exactly. I mean, I'm just gonna read off the games here. So, the last one had Shin Megami Tensei 3 remake announcement, and then Shin Megami Tensei 5, which is both. Those are both very big. And even though they're not big for a lot of people, they're still big in general. So that kind of was able to carry that. We had the Kingdom Hearts, I believe it's called like Mega Mix or Melodies of Memory, something. I don't
Yep,
know.
that's what it
That
was. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was already announced. So
Yep.
th- yeah, that was there. We have this DJ game called Fuser, where you like make your own beats.
Yep.
Cool. I'm just
Kind
looking
of.
through. We had that. I'm not even gonna try and. I am gonna try and pronounce it, but I'm gonna butcher it. Taiko no Tatsujin. It's a drumming game. Cool. One of those is already on the Switch though, and it's a very. I would not say that's a very popular franchise. You have a World of Tanks Blitz, which I don't even know if that was already announced. It just does not interest many people. Another wrestling game, PJ. I don't know why there's or no, was this no, it was boxing. I apologize. Sincerest apologies. It was boxing. Big Rumble Boxing Creed Champions. So I would assume that ties in with the movie, Apollo Creed. Um,
Yep.
uh, you got some like Final Fantasy Game Boy game, which is pretty big, I guess. Just Dance, another absolute banger. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, which I assume was supposed to be the big announcement of that.
Oh, huge.
And
Tetris is huge. Yeah.
and then yeah, I mean, well, it's a sequel. So
Oh, wow.
fans of the first one,
Mm.
now you have the second one.
You love to see it.
I mean, I'm sure people are happy about it, and I am very happy for the people who are happy about it. Oh, and then there was a sizzle reel at the end. Um, I do not. I think that was worse than the first partner showcase,
Yeah.
which was already bad. So
Oh my god. It was
it just
definitely perceived better because we knew what it was. But the
yeah, and
actual
it wasn't.
content shown, yep.
It was not good. It was not good, and it wasn't. They didn't even announce it prior, which I
See,
commend them on.
that's fine as long as it's not live and it's just like a video. Like
Yeah,
I wish they would just take direct out of the name. It would be so much better. But
they got to, but they're not gonna. No
yeah,
way.
no. We need love for the Bakugans and the Kingdom Hearts rhythm games and the boxing video games that aren't mainline boxing games that everyone plays.
Bro, exactly. Wii Sports
Um,
Boxing? Nah, I'm Creed Boxing Champions. That's my
that's my
type.
shtick. That's my
I don't
shtick,
even.
man.
Right, it's just eh,
Ugh,
eh,
disappointing for Nintendo fans for sure. But I
of
just
course.
I want to see a first party direct, and then I promise Nintendo ninjas. I promise I will never roast the company again. As long as they get it together, it's all right, man. It's all right. I'll forgive them.
I cannot promise that. I cannot promise that. I will not roast the company
Imagine
for
3D
like
World
a
doesn't happen.
week.
Yeah,
If
3D
3D
World
World
doesn't
doesn't
happen.
okay, speaking though of 3D World,
Oh, I didn't
we
even
have
mean
a
to do that. Perfect.
yeah, that's beautiful segue. Beautiful segue. Okay. So let's talk about 3D World now. There's a really interesting thing with 3D World, as in it's doing this really cool thing that I don't know. I think it's cool. I don't actually. I hate it. It's doing this cool thing called not coming out or not, announcing itself for Nintendo Switch. I'm not a huge fan of that. I know
Yep.
some people are like, go 3D World. I hate it. Come on, just come to the Switch already. Like at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, seriously though, it's just annoying. It's
Mm.
really annoying. But we all know it's going to eventually happen. Like I'm not, I'm not
We
going to be
just
that
sound
guy,
so entitled in this episode. I love the energy.
bro. Well, okay. Like I'm saying though, it's gonna happen, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah. Of
like
course.
realistically speaking, it's going to happen because it's
Yep.
just it makes too much sense. Not even thinking about the rumors, bro. If they ported like Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, they're gonna port 3D World. Like just it's as simple as
That
that.
Yeah, that title is still like such a meme to me.
Oh, it is. It's so bad. But anyway, 3D World. We thought it was going to come out this year. Many people did. And who knows? Maybe that was part of the original plan. Obviously, things got kind of mucked around a little bit because of everyone's favorite virus. But yeah, so I'm here to tell you guys that I think 2021 is the year. Specifically, I think that it actually could happen as soon as January 2021. And I'm going to kind of try and plead my case right now, PJ, and then you can tell me afterwards how crazy I sound. Do I sound like the person with like the sign going like the end is near sort of thing, always saying the world's going to end? Because I feel like that person because I've been saying this so many times, but whatever. And it's never right. It's never ever right.
Yes, of
3 years
course.
I've been saying this, but this is the time. I feel. Anyway, so 3D World obviously was if you're to believe the rumors, was going to come as part of the Super Mario 3D remasters slash 35th anniversary this year.
Yep.
Did not happen. We have not even gotten that announcement yet. But if you look at the remainder of this year, we have Pikmin 3, right? Deluxe coming late October. Then nothing for the rest of this year. We both agree that we think there's going to be another game to complement Pikmin 3 Deluxe, right? Because A, Pikmin 3 Deluxe is not a holiday, title. And B, even if they thought it could
Yeah.
be a holiday title, they put it in October. So they're clearly not
Yeah.
trying to
I
position
mean,
it as the holiday title.
Yeah,
right?
apparently it was supposed to be like it was originally supposed to come out in like
March. Yeah, I saw it. No. It was
March
like
or I
April or
don't.
May. It was April or May to be right after Pikmin or Animal Crossing, I mean. But then
Yeah.
it got delayed. But anyway, they if they had no other game for this holiday, they would have delayed Pikmin because they'd rather not have a game in September and October than not have a game for November and December. That's just
Oh yeah.
business. So I think we can, using that logic, we can deduce that they have another game coming this year. We both think it's going to be a Mario game for the we both think it's going to be like the remastered pack, right?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
A because of the rumors, and B, they're not going to announce a new game because they're not going to announce another game until like September, right? And it makes sense because that's the 35th anniversary. Is like September is literally the anniversary, and it just makes sense for it to be that case. So if you believe
Mhm.
the rumors, you think it's going to be the 35th anniversary pack. That means that will probably come out in November because I don't think they're going to double up on games in October because that means they wouldn't have anything for later. So
Yep.
the anniversary pack is going to come in November. I think then if the anniversary pack comes in November, then I don't think 3D World Deluxe. I think there's no way 3D World Deluxe comes in December because I don't think they're going to want to go, 3D Mario's in November, 3D Mario's in December. That doesn't really
Yeah.
make sense. I think though they're going to kind of slide that 3D World Deluxe into that new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe slot, that game with the weird name we were talking about earlier. Because 2019, that was Nintendo's January game. And it worked out really well for that title because it's now sitting pretty at 6 million copies sold, which is higher than Mario Maker 2, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And crazy to a lot of people.
I hate to see that, like, just side tangent, by the way, because, like, that game is just, like, the title alone, it's like a double port, basically. Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. No,
like,
well, it is. It's just a port mania. But,
yeah, and Mario Maker 2 was, coming off a pretty nice, previous game, right, with Mario Maker. Like, I never played the original, but I heard it did, like, pretty well on the Wii U.
It was really good, yeah.
Had, like, a good community and everything. So for it to come to Switch and like kind of not receive that same love with sales and them stopping the updates early, like, we're in kind of a wave of DLC now with Nintendo, like they finally caught on, like DLC is the way to go. Then like they just stop updating it. Like it's a shame.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's like to have that game instead come out like twice basically, and for Mario Maker to just like have less copies sold, it's like, man, it
Yeah, no,
shouldn't, it really
you,
shouldn't
you
be
hate
like
to
that,
see it. You
Yeah.
you do hate to see it, but 3D World, I think it does kind of prove our point though that if New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe can sell that well in the January slot,
Yeah.
I think it's honestly just because so many people get a Switch in December for the holidays. If a Mario game comes out early January or just January in general, people are going to see like, hey, I just got a new console, probably got one or two games. I'm finishing up those games right now. Let me get a new title for it. I think 3D World Deluxe is the perfect multiplayer game. Like that's just me personally, but I think it works perfectly on Switch because you can use the Joy-Con sideways because you don't need camera control when you're playing multiplayer, so you don't need the dual analog. Um,
Yep.
so I think Nintendo is kind of just, probably they originally probably intended to have 3D World Deluxe this year, just to be honest, because this year is looking so dry.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like
after,
you understand it, but it's like compared to the other companies, right? Like you see what they're doing. I mean,
oh
obviously
yeah,
it's a console year for them, but still, I mean,
no,
you
100%.
would like to
It's
see more. I do understand the delays and everything, but just like generally, you'd like to see more.
Well,
So,
of course, as a fan, I mean, we want to
yeah,
see as much as we can. That's
of
like the
course.
point of being a fan. You just want to play. But it's just I think that if you look at it, PJ, here's what the main thesis of my argument, I guess. Um if we look at, 3D World Deluxe not being January, then we have uh Mario the Origami King in July. Nothing until October, which is a Pikmin 3 port. Then the Mario collection, which is really cool, glorified port,
Hmm.
right? Depends on how much they upscale stuff, but it's still a port slash remake.
Yeah. I
Then
mean, yeah, go ahead.
then just keep that going. Like, so we got port, glorified port, nothing. And then if 3D World doesn't come out in January, then it's like nothing, 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 probably until March or April. That's rough. I mean, I think even though another port isn't what, like, people would obviously rather a new game besides a port. I mean, I think at least throwing in another port would help make the
Hmm.
library look a little bit better than just a port and a remake for like 6 months worth of a year. Like
Yeah.
it's just not looking good.
I was just kind of having a thought when you were talking there. Like, if the remasters are real and they do come out, right? Like, these Switch Pro rumors, how it's supposed to be like Q1 2021 and everything. Like,
Yeah.
what if they announce a Switch Pro and release it in March, but like I feel like fans would be kind of angry that they just bought a Switch in December and like they didn't know about the Switch Pro thing, and then like it comes out in March, so they kind of like screw themselves there. So like, what do you think about that? Because like the whole concept of Mario 3D remasters could probably get a lot of Switch sales. I mean, obviously it's like all iconic
Yeah.
games to get people to buy Switch right away. It's like, oh, I want to play these games. I mean, like this is what I grew up with and everything. And if they were to like announce a new console in 2021 and release it in March, like how do you think the community would react to that? How would you react to that if you were a consumer that wasn't aware of like the leak stuff or the leak
I mean,
information, I suppose?
I'd be mildly annoyed, but like at the
Yeah.
same time, if you're not like, you can find that those leak stuff, like, obviously anyone in the community knows about the leak stuff. Most of, the general public obviously doesn't, but you can find that leak stuff within like a Google search.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's very hard to find out. I just think Nintendo is smart. Obviously, they're a business. They know that they're not going to announce the Switch Pro before the holiday of this year, because if they do, then no one's going to buy a Switch for this holiday.
Hmm.
So if the Switch Pro rumors are to be believed, which I do believe in them, I think Switch Pro gets announced next February and releases next April or May. Um, because I'm not exactly sure when the fiscal year ends. I think it's like March. So
Yeah.
Q1 of
April, I
2021
think. Yeah.
would be April. April,
Yeah.
May, June, I think, is Q1 of 2021 for the fiscal year. So like a May console release date. I mean, it makes sense. And also, push Breath of the Wild 2 to launch with the Switch Pro, but I mean that's just a whole nother that's a whole nother can of
Yeah.
worms.
Yeah, no, I was just having a thought of that because like the idea with like Switch Pro and 3D remasters is like the kind of the talk in the community right now, at least like the general talk in the community and
Yeah.
just like what people are waiting for. So was just interested in that, but for sure for 3D World Deluxe, because I don't think I give my input on it. I mean, like I think I mean I just agree with you. I mean, I think it's definitely what you're saying, coming out 2021 for sure. I mean, there's just no way that they do it 2020. Like, there's just no way. There's no way that you end off a year and you do your holiday game as a port that adds like minimal content as well.
Yeah.
Like it's not
And
it's
you're
not
not
like a
gonna have
Mario
two
Kart 8
Wii U
Deluxe.
ports.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
yeah,
You're not gonna have two Wii U ports. If they're gonna do two games this holiday and they are gonna be both, ports, quote unquote, then it's gonna be one Wii U port in Pikmin Deluxe because that's already been announced, and one like enhanced remaster with the Mario 3D Collection. That's my thoughts on it, at least. I don't think they're doing Pikmin 3 Deluxe and 3D World Deluxe
yeah.
because that's just like at that point it's like a bit too like that's a yikes.
For sure. For sure. Um, anything else with the 3D World stuff? If not, we can move on to the hot takes.
No, not really. I mean, we kind of just talked about 3D World for a bit, then went on a bunch of other tangents about like Switch Pro and stuff and whatnot. But I mean, just to sum up the whole 3D World, I think I personally think it's January 2021. That's my
I agree.
thought process.
Yep. So by the way, before we move on to the next segment, so I've seen a couple comments, and you guys may be a little misinformed. There's been a lot of questions about are you guys brothers? Are you guys friends? And there was there was a comment yesterday that asked us, "Are you two dating?" And I just want to clear the air. We're not dating. It's like,
no, we are not dating.
Oh
please stop commenting that.
Yeah.
Please don't call us cute. We read every comment. It's really weird. So I'm just putting it out there. If we're airing out our laundry, we read the comments. So just keep that in mind before you post.
Yeah, just to clear the air. We are friends, and I DM'd him to make a YouTube video. But
we're business acquaintances.
Exactly, acquaintances. Okay, so moving past that, we will go to the hot take segment now. Just had to clear the air.
Talk about that.
You knew.
I knew.
Yeah.
I thought you could, if you're on YouTube, you could rewind. You can see as soon as you started saying that, I muted myself on Discord and started laughing. Like there's no way, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, next section.
Yeah, of course. So we're gonna go to hot takes. Obviously, these are unpopular opinions that very hot takes, man. So first one here from Odyssey Lalo, and if I mispronounced that, apologies. But he says, I enjoyed Sword and Shield and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and I hope the Let's Go series will return in the future. So since I have famously, or not famously, but I've got on Pokemon rants in this podcast, so I guess I'll take this at least. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, that definitely is a hot take, at least in my eyes. I hated Sword and Shield. The story and every single issue I've complained about is insane. And you said that you want the Let's Go series to come back. It's like, because
I agree with that. I would be down for Let's Go Johto. I wouldn't be against it because it means they're taking more time to develop the mainline games.
Yeah. I mean, it just feels so recent, though, right? Like, it doesn't feel, or it does feel recent, but in reality, it's not, because I think those games came out, like, 2009.
Oh, you mean the last Johto remakes?
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, just to be clear.
It's weird, though, because if you think about it, they remade the original, red, green, yellow, blue, whatever, like the first gen. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, those came out on the Game Boy Advance. Obviously, the first gen came out on the Game Boy, so they're not that far apart. So they don't have to wait a long time to remake a game as shown in the past. I think it's just weird for us because we're of the age where we remember Heart Gold, Soul Silver coming out, and now the fact that those are getting remade, it's just like it just makes us feel like weird. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, like, not to phrase us as like old men or anything, but like for sure we've played these games like a lot. And lived through the times. I guess like that makes me sound so old, but yeah,
Bro, my webcam is goated right now.
I
It's
see
so out
that.
of focus. Anyone on iTunes and Spotify, thank God you don't have to see my horrible webcam focus. I have it on autofocus. It auto unfocus is what it should be called, Logitech, because it
Yeah.
just does not work. Although it
Anyway,
is new, it is better than the
yeah,
last one.
yeah.
The
I was
last
about to
webcam.
say, side
Come
tangent.
on. No.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Back.
As you
Back.
fix that, I'll go on.
Okay.
But the Thomas's webcam, it like stopped working or something, so we bought a new one. So, that's why the webcam quality was kind of scuffed in the past episodes if you're watching on YouTube, because he was using his laptop webcam. But
Yeah, it was
yeah.
not good. Apple webcams,
No
I thought
bueno.
they were fine. It's just it looked fine on my end, but when I'm on my MacBook Pro recording audio on a Discord call also, the webcam quality, I guess, is just far down on like its
Yeah.
list of things it cares about. So
Yeah.
it just went like waffle potato quality. Like it was not
Oh,
good,
lovely.
but we take it, I guess.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So about the Let's Go Johto stuff. The thing I don't like about the Let's Go games is because they're on a path to start a 3 remake, like crossroad, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's the main series game that originally happened, and then the first remakes, and then the second remakes being the Let's Go games. So like you have like red and blue and all those like OG games, and then you have Fire Red Leaf Green, which is fine. I think those are some of like the best remakes ever. Um, Pretty damn good. And then you have the
They
Let's
were
Go
good.
games, and then if you continue on to do that, it's like, come on, man. Like it's just I don't want to keep doing this. Like I just feel so uncomfortable being in like this potential three-way crossroad like remake
Yeah.
thing. Like, what do you think about that? Like, do you if they were to go and continue like go to Johto, go to Hoenn, go to Sinnoh, it like past all of these years, like, what do you think?
I mean, it's just I wouldn't be super opposed. I just think it's a very they have I feel like Game Freak
It's an interesting business strategy for sure.
yeah, when you have a brand that's as big as Pokemon is, which is I think it's
Mm,
literally the biggest like brand in the world. The biggest like if you count all
video
the
game.
merchandise and anime and video games, I think it's literally the biggest in the world.
Yeah,
Which is crazy. I think it surpasses like Mickey Mouse and stuff. But if you if you have a brand that's that big, I feel like you gotta like let the fans know your intentions. If they want to go down this like 3 game remake path, go right ahead. But I feel like they should enunciate and say like, hey, the Let's Go games are not meant for core fans. They're meant for fans of the Pokemon Go game to kind of ease them into the Pokemon franchise. Let them know where all these Pokemon originally came from. Let them know that hey, Torchic's from Hoenn. You know, Pikachu's from
Gen 1, yeah.
Kanto. Like yeah, yeah. Like let them know what everything's from, and then they will you know the mainline games and the remakes, which I would consider the remakes kind of in the mainline games because
Agreed.
they're like I don't know they're very closely tied.
Yeah, because you see like hints in like the games, and like the
Exactly.
actual
Yeah.
mainline series games. Like for example, in Diamond and Pearl, there's like references to Johto and like vice versa and all that. And obviously the Johto games were remade in that art style. So you have stuff like that, but I think like the second remake thing is just it's too far for me. Like I'm good with the games being remade because like they're so great, and then if they like are redone in HD and on Switch correctly, by the way, unlike Pokemon Sword and Shield, in my humble opinion, um, you know, it's
Yeah.
I don't know how I'd feel about it. Like if Let's Go Johto happened and then they actually like went on with it, I would be like, come on, man, like are
I
we
just
doing this right now? Like,
I think it's kind of cool that we get to revisit these older regions in HD. I
oh for
think
sure,
though
yeah,
that the Let's Go games just don't offer enough
enough,
to
yeah,
be $60 games.
yeah,
Let's Go. I probably had more time in Let's Go Pikachu than Pokemon Sword, to be honest, because I kind of like I completed the Pokédex. I did some of the Master Trainers, which was like some post game stuff. I still don't like. It felt like a $40 game that was priced at $60, whereas Pokemon Sword and Shield, like it felt Pokemon Sword and Shield, they still felt like a $60 game. They just felt like a bad $60 game. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah.
Like
No, it
I
does.
like the
Well,
scope was there. You could tell they were going
yeah,
for something big.
yeah.
It just clearly, in our opinion, did not pan out the
I'm
way.
gonna be honest. It was like halfway through the game. I actually, surprisingly enough, and I talk so badly about Sword and Shield, about its FPS issues and its like textures and like everything, and national decks and anyway,
Yeah.
like way through the game, I was like, it's actually pretty good. And then I felt like it started getting rushed at the end. Like you felt like you were going from gym to gym to gym to gym, and then like there was no like story behind it, and there were
Yeah, I
so many
100% agree
things
with that.
rushed in, and like the legendaries were just like thrown in your face. I was like, what is going on, man?
The
And then like
final
the
the
Elite
final
Four
act of
wasn't
that
even
game.
like a thing, and it's like,
Yeah, no, the final
ruined.
act of that game. As soon as you step foot into that like fairy town that's like in
Yes.
the forest, then if I remember correctly, it's been like a while since I played the game, but you get in there, there's a gym in there, then you have to go to like Team Yell's hideout, which is like this like gross like container shipyard thing with like a basketball court and like a chain link fence. That's all I remember
Yeah.
about it.
Can we just
As
talk about
soon
how that Pokemon team was the biggest joke in the entire franchise? Like,
we've already done this. I feel like we have the
oh yeah,
problem with Team Yell
yeah,
Nintendo Tonight clip
yeah.
somewhere.
That no. That's why I'm not gonna go on a big tangent about it. But like, it's
Gotcha.
just like definitely the worst team in all Pokemon games by far. But anyway, go on.
No, you're not wrong. You're not
Walking
wrong. I'm
around with
not going to
friggin'
debate you on this.
megaphones. What a meme.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway, getting back to the point of the remakes.
Yep. Yep.
I don't like I think that they have to I'm not unlike you, I'm not like against the idea of having 3 remakes going on. I'm not against the idea of core game, or 3 series, I guess. Core games, the core game remakes and then the Let's Go remakes. I just think they have to kind of, you know, the Pokemon company has to make some like tough decisions and decide, go 100% say, okay, if we're going to continue Let's Go, we have to really like unfortunately this is going to be the casual version of Pokemon because right now there's not enough of a difference between the 3
Yeah.
series
See,
to
like Sword
warrant
and
them
Shield.
existing.
Yeah, Sword and Shield just felt so casual though. Like they need a narrative change for those games for me to at least like kind of entertain that possibility, right? It's like
Hmm.
because they were just such a letdown to me. Like
Yeah.
like the Pokemon games were usually like they had a serious storyline going on. I mean, obviously it's aimed to be a kids game, but like there was still some like malicious intent from the teams. But like Team Yell was just running around in like these goth uniforms with friggin' like megaphones. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
like
No,
put that in
it was
Let's
not
Go
good.
whatever, man, you know?
Yeah, it was not good. Like, I mean, Team Aqua wants to drown the world. Team Yell is loud. Like, there's no
Like
comparison
there's
there.
yeah,
It's not good. But
yeah.
whatever.
But anyway, so to end this one off at least, Odyssey, I do not agree with your hot take. I did not enjoy Sword and Shield, and I do not want to see the Let's Go games coming back. And Thomas, you?
I think I do not agree. I mean, the point of it is a hot take, so we're not supposed to agree.
Yeah,
I do not agree with everything except I would be down for the Let's Go games return if the Pokemon Company fixes their crap. Like they just got
yeah.
to fix what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like it starts at the top. I mean, I feel like if you have that narrative change for the mainline games and make them more serious, then the Let's Go games can be treated as just something casual, right? So
Yeah.
anyway, moving on here. So next hot take here from Sam Power saying hot take Super Mario Odyssey is my second least favorite 3D Mario. So this is actually pretty interesting because recently Nintendo Twitter has had an outburst because everyone's been
Yeah.
saying like I actually didn't enjoy Super Mario Odyssey. This problem, this problem, this problem. So, Thomas, what do you think? And you can
Oh
comment on
man.
the
Well,
Nintendo Twitter stuff as well. So, what do you think of that?
I've always maintained the fact that I don't think Odyssey was a perfect game,
Yep.
but it was a phenomenal return to the sandbox style. It took inspiration from Banjo-Kazooie in the sense
Yep.
that like you didn't get kicked out. And I've said before, this is coming up. This is probably going to be my hot take for the episode, but I think Banjo-Kazooie is better than Super Mario 64. Spoiler alert. Um, but yeah, so I loved how it didn't kick you out. I love that so much. Um, there are issues with it though. The moon oversaturation is something that people talk about a lot, and I 100% agree with that. However, the thing that kind of annoys me the most is everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, and therefore everyone's allowed to dislike the game. And I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop people from disliking the game, of course. I think it's very weird to see a game get universal praise up until like it's not like it was universal praise and then people slightly started to dislike it. It was universal praise and then like there was like a moment where like the Nintendo side of Twitter was just like, "Wait, I hate this game." It's
I feel
like,
like it was after the partner
"Why?"
showcase. Like it felt like it was some sort of like recency, like
Yeah, well,
hatred train kind
yeah.
of thing. Like I
It's
don't
just
know.
weird. You see, it
Yeah.
comes in waves. Like
Yeah.
I remember seeing one back at like I think like after Smash Ultimate came out. Maybe I don't remember. It was a while back, but I remember seeing a bit of like wave like Super Mario like hot take. Super Mario Odyssey is the worst. Blah blah blah. And like obviously, whoever hot take that was, I personally don't agree with you, but hats off to you. Like you are allowed to have your opinion. I just think personally, when I see a bunch of people on Twitter like all have the same opinion at once that is like a hot take, quote unquote. It's like
Yeah, we talked about that
it's
before.
yeah, it's like
Yep.
is that actually your opinion or is that like you just seeing other people and kind of going like, "Oh yeah, I guess it's not that good." Like I feel like I get annoyed when I think that people are not, having their own opinions. And I was thinking of doing a video essay about this, but I think it would get probably too meta. But like I hate how obviously reviews for video games are very important and a lot of people including myself look at reviews for games before I buy them,
For
but if
sure.
there's a game that you know for a fact you're going to like you played it at a friend's house something and you like the mechanics and then you watch a review and the review says like the mechanics are bad, like don't let that stop you from buying the game. I feel like a lot of people just a lot of people like um kind of just let other people influence their opinions too much, which
Yeah.
kind of just bothers me. Like just stick to your guns, like whatever you think is, if you think you're going to like this game or if you think you like this game, then don't let someone else saying you, hey, this game sucks, like don't let that kind of influence your opinion or turn you in a negative way, I guess, if that makes any
Yep.
sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. Um yeah, I saw on Twitter and people were just hating on Odyssey. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I
Yeah,
feel like
because it was so
everyone,
loved.
yeah, I feel like everyone just came as a collective and was like, screw you, Nintendo. You're not giving us first party news, so now we're going to hate on your child, Super Mario Odyssey. And
Honestly.
I don't know how I feel about that entire debacle on Twitter, but Odyssey is my like a top three like general Mario game for me. Sunshine, uh, Sunshine. I want to say 64 DS and then Odyssey for sure is my top three.
Damn.
And 64 DS because actually I have not played original Super Mario 64. Oops, but
Uh-oh, that's a hot take in itself. I guess it's not even a take
it's
though,
it's
that's just
not
a
even
hot.
intentional though. It's not even
Yeah.
intentional. But yeah, I mean that definitely is a hot take for sure. But you know,
Yeah,
you never know, man. You
sure,
never
sure.
know with these Nintendo Twitter people. But Sam, thank you for sending in your hot take. That was spicy for sure.
Spicy take.
So yeah, guys, thank you for sending in your hot takes. Be sure to keep commenting them below as well. We'll do one of these segments every once in a while, so definitely good to kind of give our opinion on the hot takes that you guys comment. So Thomas, what is your hot take of this episode?
My hot take. You ready for this?
You
I'd
did
say
mention
drum roll.
earlier, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd say drum roll, but I already mentioned it earlier. I think that Banjo Kazooie on the N64 is a better game than Super Mario 64, also on the N64. But I mean, kind of a crazy thing to say. But even though Mario 64 came out in 1996, I believe, and Banjo Kazooie came out in 1998, making
mhm.
it the successor,
Yep,
um, I just think that like even though 64 is the original, like it was obviously more influential and a bigger game and all that stuff.
for sure,
Going back and playing each of them, I think Banjo-Kazooie has a better camera. Banjo-Kazooie has a more exciting moveset. Banjo-Kazooie has more collectibles with the Jinjos and the puzzle, the jiggy puzzle pieces, and there's just so many collectibles in that game. Um, I just like it more. I think it has more memorable levels. In my opinion, because the theming of the levels is very different. A lot of the Super Mario 64 levels, you look at them and they're like gray bricks with a like gray bricks with blank. Like that's just the theme of the level. Like gray bricks with thwomps for Whomp's Ruins or whatever, or Whomp's Fortress, sorry. Or, gray bricks and a dirt mountain with bob-ombs for Bob-omb Battlefield. So, I don't know. I feel like Banjo-Kazooie is just a lot better. I know that's probably one of
That's
the
crazy.
hottest takes. I've come in with some spicy
Oh,
takes
it's
so
some
far.
spicy, of course. I mean,
Some
I just think that's yeah. I just
fire.
think I think that's just kind of crazy. I mean, Super Mario 64 is one of the most iconic games ever. It changed like gaming
Yeah,
forever. So
you're not wrong. Have you
that's
played Banjo-Kazooie though? The
I
original?
I have a little bit, but I haven't like played through it fully. So
It's good. It's really good. I like if that gets a full. I know it got like a semi remake and it's in like rare replay and stuff.
yeah.
If it gets like a HD remake on Switch, that's an insta cop for me, and I will heavily encourage you to buy it because it's like I think it's just so good. It's very similar to Mario Odyssey. It's like if Mario Odyssey was Mario Odyssey 2 and Mario Odyssey 1 came out on the N64, that would be like that's kind of my, comparison there.
Yeah, well, that's crazy for sure. So be sure to definitely leave your responses once again and your hot takes and
Let
all
me
of
know
that
how
good
wrong I
stuff.
am. Let
Let
me
him
know how
know.
wrong
Yeah,
I
let him
am.
know how
Yeah.
wrong he is. So we will move on to the question segment now.
Do you not have a hot take, PJ?
I do not for this episode. Next time we will.
Gotcha.
Next time
Okay.
we will for sure. But
Sounds good.
I feel like that alone was enough to kind of set the tone for the
Oh,
hot take
exactly.
because I feel like
Yeah.
when you say any other game like in the 64's library at all is better than Super Mario 64, like literally such an iconic Mario game. And a video that we just actually recorded today was talking about, how iconic, like
Yeah.
the Mario games are and everything with the levels and all that.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy. It's crazy, and especially because Banjo is not on Nintendo systems anymore, is another
It's
thing.
sad. It's sad.
It definitely is sad for sure. I wish Banjo was on Nintendo systems and not making an appearance just in Smash. But anyway, all right. So question segment gonna start now. So we have a question here from CP Vinyl Diggs, and they're asking, do you think that the Breath of the Wild games could become a trilogy? So Thomas, go ahead. Do you think?
I mean, I think they could theoretically. It's
Yep,
very I like trilogies. I think,
I do too.
Star Wars trilogy.
Not the most
Hey.
recent one. Yep,
Um
not it.
well they did a trilogy of trilogies. Think about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think even though I don't really
Um
count the most recent one, but hey,
uh, the
anyway,
the most recent trilogy I just thought that does I mean, hey,
that's not it.
if you like it, include it in your own headcanon, but in my headcanon,
Nope,
no,
negative.
does not exist.
No sir.
Um that's an entire I just my brain just went wild. That could be an entire another podcast topic.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
That could be
Breath
a
of the
15-minute tangent, of course.
Yeah, it could be. It will not be though. I
Yep.
gotta keep it locked in. I think Breath of the Wild 2, um I mean it could be a trilogy. They'd have to like flesh out the story a bit more because Breath of the Wild 1 did a great job of fleshing out the world of Hyrule, but the
Mhm.
story was kind of terrible. Like it had a cool premise, and the backstory is cool, like the champions, those are all cool. But the
Yeah.
actual story, like what happens while you playing, you start and Ganon is there, and then you end and Ganon is no longer there because you killed him. But nothing really happens in the meantime. There's no
So
growth.
yeah, so I wonder what's gonna happen in the next Breath of the Wild game then, and how they would kind of shape that together.
That's what I'm saying. They'd have to the next like Breath of the Wild 2, they'd have to would kind of have to function as like Breath of the Wild 1.5 in a story setting. And that's the only way I can see them getting a trilogy because I don't see them
It needs
revisiting the
to,
same world 3 times.
yeah, because has there really ever been a Zelda trilogy?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so
No.
that would definitely be a first. So it would be a challenge for obviously the team that works on Zelda to structure together like a 3 game story that actually like makes sense. I feel
Well,
like
they literally can't because the first game in that 3 game story had no story. So they'd have to the story would have to be from 2 and 3 and just use all the world building
yeah,
of 1.
yeah.
But yeah,
I I feel like 2 has the potential to be better than 1,
oh,
just
100%,
because of
yeah.
that. because if it becomes more story driven, I feel like someone working on Zelda, some sort of director of some sort, said that like Breath of the Wild 2 would be more um like story driven. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where I
I
saw
think
that, but I think you know
Eiji
what I mean.
Aonuma said that. He's like the producer of Zelda.
Yep.
He's like the big Zelda guy. He also said the story was going to be darker than Majora's Mask,
Yep.
which has me very excited. So
Yeah. Yeah, for
fingers
sure.
crossed.
That's why that Curse of the Wild rumored title sounds so good to me, but hopefully
Yeah.
they
Is that
do.
rumored? Is that
Well,
I've never seen that rumored. That was just kind of something we made up.
yeah.
Is that
Oh yeah. No,
if it is
I phrased that wrong. Yeah, just the title that we have kind of put like our fan label on.
okay?
I
I
fault.
was gonna say
Yeah, no.
if that
If
got
that if
rumored,
that
I would
was
get
rumored,
excited because
we're suing. We're suing. It's our fan made title.
yeah, you can't sue us, Nintendo. Come on.
All right, so next question here from Galactic Plays asking, so I've got a question for you both. Thomas, would you rather have Super Mario 3D World Deluxe or 3D World 2? And for PJ, would you rather have Super Mario Sunshine Deluxe or Sunshine 2? So you go ahead. And just for context, for people who may not be familiar with Switch Top videos, the theme of our channel right now, at least, is that, you know, Thomas is hugely obsessed with 3D World and has made a lot of content on it. And I've kind of taken it upon me that Sunshine is my favorite Mario game, and then I've just started going into this whole content bubble with Sunshine, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, slowly obsessing over it. So that's why those two games are specifically asked. So yeah, go ahead. 3D World Deluxe or 3D World 2?
I would honestly say deluxe, because A, at this point, just the fact like 3D World Deluxe. I mean, come on. And two, two is still possible after deluxe. Deluxe is not possible after two. So it's like
Yeah,
that sort of thing. I'd also kind of I'd rather see a Galaxy 3 or an Odyssey 2 than a 3D World 2
that's
right
coming up.
now.
That's coming up in a question.
I
Yep.
don't know why. I just like I love 3D World more than Galaxy and more than Odyssey. I'm curious to see what like another Galaxy and another Odyssey thing could be. I like 3D World.
For sure.
I wouldn't. It would be another amazing game, but I'm just curious to see what the other ones could be. So
Yeah. And for me, so what I think about yours is that Deluxe makes more sense because yours is newer.
mhm.
So a sequel wouldn't really do it just. But I would actually like to see Sunshine 2 over Sunshine Deluxe or
Of
whatever they
course,
would
yeah,
call it. And the reason for that is because obviously Sunshine was on the GameCube and a lot of mechanics and features of it are outdated. So, if they were to somehow create a story of Sunshine 2, I think that would be huge. I don't know how it would work because it's really like a one-off kind of story because like you can't really reuse that concept. Like, it's so unique, you know. Obviously, like Bowser Jr. having this disguise as Shadow Mario and then just like putting goop all over Isle Delfino itself and then pinning it on Mario and now he has to clean up the mess,
yeah,
right? So, just generally, I would like to see Sunshine 2, like those mechanics, for example, when refined, I think could be even better because there are some, you know, buggy features of it. For example, the camera, um, and just some movement aspects. Like most of it is surprisingly polished, but if it was, you know, like perfect, that would be amazing. And I always talk about every time I talk about Sunshine, it's the blue coins in the map. I would like a blue coin hint of some sort. I would like a blue coin tracker of some sort. You know, the map redone in actual HD instead of just like having the locations there and not really being detailed whatsoever. So definitely a more detailed map, blue coin tracking, all that. But if they were able to find out a story for Sunshine 2, I would definitely like that a lot more. If they could not, I will take Sunshine Deluxe as long as the map is in HD and updated.
yeah.
All right. So, we were actually talking about Ethan Mastercrafter in the intro and how much of an MVP he's been.
Was that the intro we ended up using or no? Because we I remember we had to
That's
restart once.
that's true.
That's
I'm not sure.
unfortunate.
I'm not sure.
Unfortunate.
So yeah,
Ethan, if you were not in the intro of this podcast, we were talking about you in the intro, but then we had to restart the recording due to some technical difficulties behind the scenes. That we'll just call it that, PJ.
yeah, sure.
But yeah, Ethan, you're the goat. I bumped my pop filter. Hopefully that didn't just
Yeah, yeah.
destroy the
You're
mic.
good. You're
But
good.
you're the goat, Ethan. Thank you for sending in the questions. You are single-handedly keeping the Nintendo Tonight fan questions alive. Oh, also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this either in our intro or not. You can now submit questions via the Nintendo Tonight questions channel of the
In the
Discord
Discord,
server.
yep.
which you could find in the link in the description on YouTube, or if you are on iTunes or Spotify, just look up Nintendo Tonight YouTube or Switch Stop YouTube. Click on any video, and it'll be in the description of that. The Switch Stop Discord server has a Nintendo Tonight section now for questions.
And if we said both of those, and if we said both of those in the intro, apologies, but we forgot because it's been a little scuffed this episode behind the scenes, but it's going well overall.
Rather say it twice than none. So.
Of course. All right, so Ethan Mastercrafter here with a question. He says, "Hey, thanks for the shout out. I did clutch up with a bit with that question, but now I got a few good ones up my sleeve for the next podcast, so let's go. I like the idea of achievements earning you wallpapers, or better yet, first-party games come with their own downloadable wallpapers. But then you mentioned the idea of earning My Nintendo points. That got me thinking, what if Nintendo had a built-in cosmetics store so you can purchase sounds or themes, like you have to play to earn these things? So what do you think of that?"
Ethan is just goated. He's goated. He's goated. Absolutely homie. Straight fire coming from that man's brain in a good way. No, yeah, that's a great idea. I literally think it would be a great idea. Like, hey, if you want enough, My Nintendo points to buy a theme, either obviously you can cough up the money and buy the theme, or get first place 3 times in a row on an online Mario Kart 8 Deluxe match for the, to get that achievement and get a 100 My Nintendo point bonus, which will then give you stuff for the theme. Like, that's a great idea. It's just good. I don't know if any company has ever done that. I don't know if any company has ever had achievements tied to points that you can then redeem for stuff like themes. I know Xbox achievements are tied to like gold points or something. And
I believe so. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't even know if you can redeem those for anything. So I don't know. But yeah, that's a great idea. If we ever make a console, we're doing that, but that's not gonna happen. So.
Yeah, I love that idea of a cosmetics store. Well, I think do I think they'll do it? Probably not, but it is a great idea. I mean, again, I could rant about themes. Such a little thing I could rant about for so long, but since I've done it quite a few times, yeah, I mean, just bring themes to Switch, Nintendo. Just I'm giving you my money. Like, come on, like, yeah, it's just free money. Like, you just slap a JPEG or a GIF or something, and then it's like, you never know.
Free cash for Nintendo.
Yeah, you never know what Nintendo's thinking over there. All right, so next question here from Brady Case. Asking, moving forward, do you think that Nintendo will make more adventure-based Mario games like Mario Odyssey, or a little simpler games that are just based on going from left to right and getting to the flagpole?
Well, I think they're going to make both. I think 2D Mario has kind of been phased out as of right now.
Yeah.
So unless, unless there is a brand new spin on 2D Mario that's not New Super Mario Bros., I think honestly we could get a 3D World style game and an adventure style game, because even though they are both 3D Mario, quote unquote, they're very different in terms of gameplay style. However, personally, I think the next 3D Mario, not counting any ports, is going to be Odyssey 2. So I guess I'd have to answer the adventure style of that, because just like, if you think about it, like, Odyssey had so much potential with its mechanics, and not saying they didn't reach that potential, but there's so much potential left for them to reach. It reminds me a lot of Galaxy, and obviously Galaxy, the development team felt so passionately that they had enough stuff that, they started working on additional content, and then that ended up being Galaxy 2. So I think honestly they could just do that again with Odyssey. Like, they could have wanted to do DLC for Odyssey. That never happened, so they whipped up Luigi's Balloon minigame, gave us that for DLC, and then instead the DLC they were making for Odyssey, like Isle Delfino, BJ? That's now going into Odyssey 2, which makes sense.
If that ends up not happening, like, if there's no Isle Delfino appearance in like Odyssey 2 or anything, I'm just gonna be like, man, like, what the? But yeah, that I will rant. I had to stop myself. I was about to say, oh boy, but definitely I think that Mario Odyssey 2 and all those type of games will continue on in the Switch library for sure. I think that's definitely the route that they're going. All right, so question from Noah for Life here. Asking, will a Luigi's Mansion 4 come out on the Switch in general? Not like soon, but like in 2023 or 2024?
I doubt it.
I feel like it's just been done a lot,
Well, I just feel like that's such a specific style of gameplay that
Yeah,
it like doesn't really make sense to do it unless it's on a console that doesn't already have a Luigi's Mansion game.
yeah,
Which like you
yeah,
can put multiple 2D Marios on a Switch, like with Mario Maker 2, and then New Super Mario Bros.
yeah.
U Deluxe.
Yeah, I mean,
You
you
can
just
put
got to be careful about that stuff. I like that's also another reason why they haven't put another Mario Kart on there, right? Because like if Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is selling well, they can't really justify as a business to like make a new one at the moment, right? Like they want to wait for it to kind of die down a little bit.
and
So,
even when Luigi's Mansion does die down, I just don't see a Luigi's Mansion 4 happening on the same console because
agreed.
it's just like if you want Luigi's Mansion on Switch, you already have one. Like there's not going to be too much of a difference between Luigi's Mansion 3 and Luigi's Mansion 4. So it's like how many people are going to buy a Luigi's Mansion 4? A million max? I just don't no. I don't think it's
Yeah,
going to happen unfortunately. But
fair enough. All right, so two of these are a little quick, so let's get right to it. We have
good.
about three or four left, so these should be pretty fast though. Question from Will Cobble asking, "Do you think a new Toys to Life game like Skylanders will ever happen again?" For me, I never played Skylanders or anything. That wasn't really my thing. The whole idea of having to buy new minifigures a lot is just weird, but I don't think that'll ever happen again.
No, I don't think it will. I played a crap ton of Disney Infinity, which was the Disney
Oh,
version,
yeah.
but like I have a ton. I could go get them. PJ, can I go get them? Can I go get my toys? No.
For
Okay.
for the
I will
segment?
Yeah, for the
Nah.
content. For the content. I will not. I could. I
Setup
will,
vlog, setup vlog, definitely. Definitely gotta show
yeah.
those off whenever that
Oh,
happens.
no, yeah, I don't think. I mean, even Nintendo is like Amiibo were so huge, and Nintendo just like doesn't really make them anymore, or like make any new ones at least. So it's just like the craze is done.
Yeah, they're just like slowly putting out the Smash ones, and then it's just like, okay, man, like, GG's, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. So, question from Panther asking, "Do you think that a third Galaxy game could come to Switch?" So you were talking about this earlier. So, do you think Galaxy 3 is at all possible?
It's 100% possible. Do I think it's gonna happen? No.
Nah,
I'd
yeah,
give it probably like a 5% chance to happen just ever on the Switch.
yeah.
Uh,
Now,
yeah,
whatever
I mean,
Nintendo's next console is, that would be just great, but I doubt that too, unfortunately.
yeah, I give it a 5% chance to like ever happen. I don't know. It's just
It's just like the Galaxy games and like the Wii's like controls and everything. It just works so perfectly all at the same time, and
Yeah.
it's hard for me to think that a Galaxy game would happen again because like the timing was just perfect. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really see them making another one.
Unfortunately.
Or yeah, it sucks, but I would love to see it, but I
Oh
just don't.
yeah, I mean the Galaxy games were great. I mean hell, would love to see
Yep.
that. No doubt. All right, so last question here from Retro Chef Kawasaki. That was almost a tongue twister. Asking, do you think the next Kirby game could be an RPG?
I'm gonna let you take this one. I have no connection to Kirby whatsoever. I know
See,
absolutely nothing.
I don't either, but I'll try it anyway. I mean, Kirby, I feel like Kirby is just like in a weird spot. Like, when was the last Kirby game that came out? Like,
And it was Star Allies in 2018 March, I think.
yeah, I don't know if they would take a RPG route, but I feel like Kirby is one of those series that also needs another shakeup, like Zelda, and because as you said in your video essay, which is very like underviewed, not trying to make a reference to the series underviewed, by the way, but
Oh, the Mario Party one, you mean, or the
no,
Zelda
no,
one?
no. Yeah, no, the Zelda one. Yeah, the Zelda one
Oh yeah,
specifically.
yeah,
Yeah. Where you talked about how, Zelda kind of peaked, I guess, and they were like, okay, like where are we gonna go? I feel like Kirby might be in that spot too. Like it's really weird. It's not I don't think it's talked about like as highly and like as popularized, I guess. Like I feel like I don't see a lot of people like in the community mostly asking for a new Kirby game and all that, right? Like, maybe
yeah. I
Kirby
guess.
could take yeah, maybe Kirby could take like an RPG route, but I feel like an open world kind of concept again would be where they would want to go. I don't know how that would work
Or
in
just
the
do any sort of 3D because I've never really done 3D with
yeah.
Kirby. Like once I
Yeah.
think they did,
Yeah.
but they never really do. So
Yeah, but whatever the next Kirby game is, I'd like to see a shakeup. I don't know if it's an RPG, I don't know if it's an open world, or if it's just like a 3D game of some sort in general. I would definitely like to see that, but yeah, Kirby is definitely in a weird spot for sure. say that.
Yeah,
So
no, I
yeah,
agree.
that's it for the question segment. So
That's
yeah.
it. All right. So last up, before we head off, just once again, leave your questions anywhere and we will find them. Particularly
Yep.
now there is a channel on the Discord. I already said
Yep.
that, but I'm
So
saying it again.
Twitter's
Repetition.
at SwitchStop, at PJ_SwitchStop, at Nintendo Tonight on Twitter. You can also leave it in any comments on any video or any podcast video. You can also join the SwitchStop Discord linked in the description of this video, along with videos on SwitchStop, and click on the NT questions channel and leave questions in there, and we will definitely take a look.
So with that out of the way, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, nothing else really to say.
Yep.
With that out of the way, the unlucky number 13 episode is completed. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. And with that out of the way, thank you. I just said that. Oh my god, bro. This episode.
It's
This
scuffed. It's
episode,
so scuffed. It's so scuffed.
We've had more
Okay.
cuts in this episode, I think, than like any
Then,
other.
oh yeah, okay. So anyway, I'll end it off because you're having brain lag. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening and watching and everything. And that was the 13th ever episode of Nintendo Tonight. See you guys.
Thank you, PJ. Thank